Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel and our first video for 2023.
Yeah, we haven't done a video for quite some time because we've been concentrating on the live streams, which is going really well. We've had some fab guests and quite a few more fab ones to come up.
Yeah. So keep an eye out on our obviously community page on YouTube, but also our Facebook page. Now, obviously, since speaking to you last, we've set up a Facebook page.
We have.
So I'll link in the description below. And that way we just thought it was a way if you can, you guys
keeping up
to date with what's going on, projects we're doing, because we've done quite a few things that we've not made videos for, but also at the same time we are ploughing ahead. So sometimes I might sort of look disjointed of why have we gone from there to there, but the reason is there is something gone in the middle. So Facebook page makes it sort of simple, keeps you guys up to date, and also it's our way of communicating with yourself, because we also started now to do a post on the page week prior to our live shows where you guys can post your work pictures that you've been working on. That way, and we can also have a little chat about those, bring them up into the stream when we're live and talk about them. So again, it makes you a part of the show as well.
But today is all about this Kickstarter.
Today's about the Kickstarter, right. So we bought into it 2 Kickstarters. So we've got 2 lots of this. One lot of the miniatures are all painted up apart from the animals, which we're going to do all at the same time. And we'll show you those later in this video. But this is your Kickstarter out on table just to sort of show you what's what.
Yeah, absolutely. So really we just wanted to show you what was included in the Kickstarters. And how, you know, for a skirmish game, everything is in here that you need to be able to do the game. So obviously the biggest main bit is the rulebook. Yeah,
the rulebook is brilliant, absolutely beautiful. I will link to the description below for Iain, Flags of War, done a video on looking through the rulebook. It's no point us showing you the rulebook again. Go and have a look at that video after this video, and then that way you can sort of see for yourself. It is a beautiful book.
So what we get in there, obviously the main 2 boxes of the figures that come into there. So you've got your foot figures there. So it's in there.
So the foot figures here, brilliant, lovely figures. You get obviously 8 figures in there, with the main one being your herdman. As you can see with the picture on the screen, and that the herdman is the guy with the pistol and his hand on his hilt of his sword. Lovely figure, and I love the way the cloak is flowing around him. Again, all these miniatures, the sculptor has captured movement. Again, with the cavalry, with the foot figures and the animals, there's movement in there. You can see it, and I really do like that. You also get 2 heroes, one of them being there the sword and the dagger, and the second one being the sword and the shield. Again, beautiful figures, lots of motion and animation and that into those figures. And then you get 5 reivers, and again, one of the ones you like is the guy with the torch.
The guy with the torch. I think that you can actually see in there the movement with that torch glowing.
Yeah.
I think they are brilliant. They look fantastic. The actual moulding of the figures is so crisp. And I have to say that they're an absolute joy to paint. Sometimes, for me, I don't overly enjoy painting metal figures. I'm going to be honest. But these ones were fantastic. Yeah, these worked really well. So, you know, it helps when you've got that crisp moulding. It helps when you've got that animation in the figure. You can really do something with it. And those were fantastic to do. The other thing you get in the box, obviously, you get all the bases, which not everybody does.
Yeah. So the basic box sets you've got here, the foot and the mounted, you get the MDF bases. 25mm round bases for the foot, and 40mm round for the cavalry.
The other box you get is the mounted versions. Yep. So again, you get your Hideman, you get your one of the Reiver heroes, and you get 3 other Reivers in with that. And they are also so animated. The thing I do like about this is the actual horses themselves. You can see the movement in the horses. They are really nicely moulded. I think horses is, again, is a Marmite thing within Wargaming. You either love them or hate them. But these ones are really nice. And again, you can get some really nice looking animation, especially how it depends on how you do your terrain on the bases as well. Yep. You can get that flow within it. So those are fantastic. But you also get your cards within the boxes. Yeah,
the cards come obviously for each character. Each character has each figure has their own. I'm going to call them characters because they are characters. Each character has their own card, and in there is obviously a range of abilities. The game system uses polyhedral dice, so D4 to D10, and again, I like that because it cuts down on the amount of modifiers you need in the game. It also is very clean in the sense that a D4, someone with a D4 ability is going to be not as good at that ability as opposed to somebody with a D10. So you've actually cut out, as I said, you cut out a load of modifiers, you cut out a lot of faff really, and it's quite nice. Coming from a D&D background as a young kid when I first started into gaming, to me, that's gone back to my roots. Yeah, it's gone back to my roots. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm happy with that.
Absolutely. One of the other things you will obviously with any Kickstarter normally get stretch goals, but you can also have add-ons. We've got 2 of the stretch goals that were here with it. We've got the Firm family. Yeah. Again, fantastic figures. They're the farmer, his wife, and the 2 bairns. I love the bairns. I think they're lovely little figures, and you can see the little rascals are going to be there causing havoc within the game. Your one over there, I know, is your favourite.
My favourites, I mean, again, I'll put them up on screen so you can see the pictures and that of the stretch goals for these characters. And that's the Envoy, the Envoy's assistant, and obviously the Envoy's lackey. Now, these obviously took a lot of inspiration from Blackadder. Because again, if you look at the Envoy, very much Blackadder himself, the way he's dressed and everything. And so we've painted them up.
We've painted them
as the Blackadder characters because you've got to. You know, as far as I'm concerned, they lend itself to that. So yeah, our Envoy is Edmund Blackadder. Next up, you got the assistant, which is again Rick Mel's Lord Flashheart. I mean, absolutely brilliant. And I love the way he stood there, sort of like with his pomp and flair, his nonchalant, sort of with his cane, and love it. Absolutely brilliant figure. And thirdly, you can't have the
best character of all.
You can't have Blackadder without Baldric. Well, this guy here, the lackey, he really does look like Baldric. and again, full of character. And again, they've got their own abilities, their own rules, their own special rules, and that they can bring into the game, which is really, really cool.
I can see a game with that narrative of it being around the Envoy, so we've got a Blackadder scene coming up at some point. It's going to happen. The other things, obviously, within the Kickstarter, you get your tokens here, which are MDF tokens done by Sarissa.
Yeah.
Painted tokens, colour tokens, brilliant.
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful tokens. Sarissa started doing these, I think it was for Barons Wars, and they've obviously done the similar sort of thing here with the Border Wars. If you're like us, I like to protect all my tokens if I possibly can. I can't do everything, obviously, but these ones you certainly can. 20mm coin protectors, I think, is ideal for those, so you should be able to use that for that.
Yep. The other things you get is your cards that go along with the game. So you've got your events cards, heroic actions, any special abilities, those kind of cards that come with it. So everything is all there, is all pretty concise within there, and that's why we got 2 of them, is we've got 2 families against each other. And I think the families is important, obviously, for this.
But the families are important, because obviously this is one thing. Talking with Iain through the live show that we've done, I'm perfectly honest, I knew a little bit about the Border Readers. Like I said, I always wanted to get into this back in the 90s. There was a range of Vendel miniatures, I think it was, that came out at the time. And I never did. But moving on from now is talking with Iain, looking through the rule book. There's a lot of further readings and suggestions and that in the back. But Iain did recommend buying the Steel Bonnets, which is done by George McDonald Fraser. Now, brilliant book. Absolutely can't recommend that enough. I've read a fair number of chapters in it. I've read quite a bit of it, actually, but solidly. I've read a few chapters in it. And the 300 spans time frame of basically a lawless land, a lawless border between the 2 countries that even kings and queens dared enter, or if they did, they certainly made sure they sided with somebody, or they sent their armies, trying to sneak their armies through, not to get involved with the families on the border. So very, very interesting, and certainly, I didn't know much about it. So sort of reading this has really sparked my interest to sort of find out a little bit more.
One good thing in that book, though, is there's also that diagram that shows the families who interacted most with who supported who, but who were against who in a big way. And it actually was really key to us deciding which families we're going to be doing. So that was a fantastic thing to do. Obviously your Ospreys as well.
The Ospreys by Keith Durham, they're very, very good. Again, there's a lot of duplication of information between the 2 books, but what it does help show you is obviously one is purely on the later period, but the one this side gives you a cross section of colour plates through the period and information. So again, it's handy to have to give you sort of try and get your mindset into when you're painting your miniatures and that. What types of colours were available? What types of materials were available? How did it look? How did it dress? There's some great videos on YouTube actually of border reivers on YouTube dressed up and what in their reenactors dressed up in their gear, and really good. So go and check those out as well. They're really interesting.
Absolutely. But I think, to be honest with you, I think it's time to really show what we've done. Just as a quick hint, the family you're doing,
Armstrongs.
I'm doing the Johnstons. And at the moment, it looks like Jamie might be joining in with a third family, and he'll probably be doing the Maxwells. So just a bit of information there for you. Yeah. But on that note, I think it's time for us to wind up and then get on to show you some pictures of what we've got done.
So until next time, guys, hope you've enjoyed this first part 1 of our Border Wars project build so far. Fabulous. Huge thank you once again goes to Iain of Flags of War. Brilliant Kickstarter. And a huge thank you to him and his family for getting this Kickstarter out. Absolutely superb. Really do like it.
Absolutely.
And until next time, guys, we hope you stay safe. Don't forget all the links in the description below. And well,
I think that's it. Thanks everybody for listening, and hopefully we'll get on with another video soon. But in the meantime, we hope you enjoy the pictures of the ones that we've done.
Happy wargaming.
See you, everyone.